Hello guys, welcome to the channel. It's Rad. A long time no see. Uh, it was a Easter week here, and so I got myself some slack last week, but I am around. And tonight's live stream is going to be about the solar eclipse happening in 20th, which is it already happened. Truth be told, it's 20th at midnight for what it seems. So early morning, total solar eclipse, and it's a new moon in Aries. So that's going to be the topic for the live stream. And hello, Jen. And the first thing that we are going to do, or I am going to do, that is going to be the general read for the collective, or generally what this new moon is going to be all about according to my tarot cards. If you had paid attention to the thumbnail, you are going to see the tarot cards, but I'm going to show them to you as well. Hello, Jasmine. And the first one that I drew, that is the Eight of Swords. The second card, that's that I drew, that is going to be the Four of Cups. Moving on next, what we do have, that will be the Eight of Cups, followed by the fourth one, which is the King of Pentacles. And the final card we do have for the solar eclipse, that will be the Six of Swords. Jasmine, thank you for the $20 super chat support. Thank you, Jasmine. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading for the new moon in Aries. So you can stay up until the end of the stream as you usually do, or if you can't, of course, you can watch the recording. Okay, it's going to be available under the live section of the channel. By the way, that is something which quite a few people don't know about. It is that the live streams are no longer can be found in the video section or when you click on the channel. There are tabs now there, and you do have to click on the live tab. I think it says videos, shorts, then you do have a live tab, and when you click on the live tab, this is where you can find the recordings of the live streams. And I know that a few people don't know about it. It is because I do receive here and there messages, people asking me where I am and why I'm not posting on the YouTube channel. I am, obviously, but it is just it's not appearing under the video section. So with that said, it's a pretty simple message from the cards that I drew. And long story short, this is a message that pretty much screams don't give up. All right, that's pretty much what those cards are talking about, for a few reasons. Now, one of the reasons, and the most convincing one, is that currently, at least around us, so to speak, there isn't a better thing. Okay, so don't give up, for example, on your job, because there isn't a better one that you can find, at least for the next couple of weeks. Don't give up on your love, because ain't a better one you can find, at least in the next couple of weeks, because this is a couple of weeks reading going forward. In fact, I'm going to tell you how long it's going to be. until the 5th of May, right? Up until the 5th of May. And moreover, by the way, Mercury goes retrograde tomorrow, which is the 21st, which is as well revisiting everything with Re, all right? That is what Pisces Moonbeam told me. Revisiting, reviving, resurrecting, reincarnating. Well, not exactly reincarnating, but everything with Re. So, yeah, it's the most incentivized reason is that there ain't gonna be anything better, at least for now. And the other reason, which for me is even more incentivizing, but you know, some people like to live in a, which I don't blame, by the way, like to live in a way that things, you know, they should happen kind of like naturally, right? But the second reason is that we have stopped ourselves, right? So the lack of progress, whether in our job or whether in our business or even into our love life, is because we have placed certain boundaries, right? We have placed certain limits, personal boundaries. A quick example of that is that you don't want to do that because, I don't know, it doesn't fall into your code of conduct, you don't find it appealing, and etc., etc., but doing it will allow you to grow, right? So that's a transit that we do have in front of us, this lunar cycle, that's solar eclipse. Above everything else is going to help us kind of like take down those limits that we have self-imposed on ourselves. And by doing so, that will allow us to truly unfold the potential we, all of us, have in one and another field. And in fact, some of us may even kind of like surprise ourselves with, you know, how much we are capable of, what truly we can do once we don't have any, how do you call it, biases, maybe, okay? Biases, you know, just only biases, but as well a presumptions about one or another thing. And what is going to be good, a tendency, or rather like a good attitude from our behalf, by the look of those cards, is to it's kind of like complicated, okay? First off, it is that we must recognize when you can carry on with one thing and kind of like leave it behind you. So you gotta recognize, or we have to recognize, that at some point there is that much that you can do, okay, to improve one or another situation. And going beyond that point, it's kind of like prove itself to be quite stressful and unnecessary, and almost feels like, you know, the whole situation and the people involved into it are more conniving than anything else, right? So why should you bother, all right? Why should we bother? And my point here is that, for example, if you're trying to explain yourself in front of someone, say you do try to explain yourself in front of a friend why you're doing one or another thing, and your friend just doesn't want to listen, they don't want to even comprehend what you're going through, why would you bother, right? You just go on with your life. Don't waste your energy for aspects, activities, things that no one cares, right? No one but you, no one but we kind of cares. And so adopting that standpoint, the actions we are to take regarding one or another thing, okay, regarding what we expand our limits into, will be even more than bold. Now, bottom line here, guys, is that but at the end of the day, by the end of this transit, the urge for expansion and growth that we do have in one or another field. Say you want to expand in love, you want to expand your family, you want to expand your business, or your career, your job. This ain't gonna be anymore just a thought. This ain't gonna be anymore just a dream, but a real actions, a tangible processes are gonna start from your behalf, from our behalf. By the end of the day, or rather, like, not by the end of the day, it's not gonna, the process is not gonna finish within the next couple of weeks, but a significant progress is going to be established. And the more we invest, the more we gain. So these are, on top of that, not weeks that we should kind of like lay off your couch, or rather like couch. I'm sorry. So lay on our couch, and hope that things are gonna miraculously solve themselves on their own accord. Prodigies ain't gonna happen next couple of weeks. All right. So that was the collective kind of like message, the collective energy from the solar eclipse. And now what's going to happen is that I'm going to do 12 readings, same format as the collective reading, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And after that, the super chat readings are going to take place. So anyone who decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you are going to have your reading at the end of the stream. Should your super chat be $20 or above, the reading is going to be that very same format I just did for the collective, and I'm going to do for the star signs, which is going to be the 5-card spread, which is designed for a lunar phases, actually, new and a full moon. And of course, if you do decide to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you are to see full list of my services and also their pricing. So with that said, going first, we do have Aries. Oh, you can track which star sign I'm reading for by the glyph which is displayed over here. Okay. All right, for Aries, first one, 10 of Pentacles. Followed by the 3 of Pentacles, which is the second card. Moving on next, that will be Judgment. Afterwards, we have the Ace of Cups. And the final card for you, that will be the Page of Swords. So, you guys, if those cards are to be believed, you are to feel very misunderstood in the next couple of weeks for the support that you may usually get. It doesn't matter if it's a big one or if it is a small one. The support that you are usually getting from your friends, you know, colleagues, or family that you do have is going to abate for a reason that's simply the direction you are going to take off from the next couple of weeks, because there is going to be a big stir, right? You are to stir significantly in one or another direction, toward one or another person, toward one or another activity, but that stir ain't going to be seen with pleasant eyes, so to speak, from those that you are considering a close circle. And for that reason, you may feel pretty alone, okay, in what you are doing, in what you are involved into next couple of weeks, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna have a bad time. In fact, those cards are showing here that you are to feel very comfortable, and while at the start, you know, of this transit, seeing how people are pulling off and kind of like forlorning you, for a lack of a better word, relinquishing you from their presence and from their support. You may feel betrayed, for example. You may feel abandoned. You may feel alone, okay? The more that feeling as the transit progresses is going to transform into feeling of independence. And you are to recognize and realize even more and more that at the end of the day, these people are around you for the most part of convenience. You can definitely do without them. However, as you go forward and this feeling is transformed from a feeling alone into a feeling independence, a person from your past is going to show up, right? That you have a, how can I put it into words? Unfinished business. It's the best way how I can describe it here looking at those cards. So that person showing up, okay, will present with a very unique, can't really say opportunity, it's more like a help, right? So very unique, very yeah, unique is the word, the best word I can find. So a very unique way to help you without actually interfering and kind of like damaging your ego, for example, or your reputation, right? It's going to be well, yeah, it's going to be a very unique experience. And from all that, what you are going to learn, Aries, it is that at the end of the day, you can't allow your happiness to be a hostage of someone, all right? But if you cannot forge your own happiness, no one can do it for you. So that's why, you know, as this thing progresses, this transit progresses, you will understand that people around you, they're more of a convenience than anything else, than necessity. Especially necessity. Right, so that was Aries. Now moving next, we do have Taurus. First one for Taurus, again, 10 of Pentacles. Followed by the second card of the Page of Wands. Moving on next, we do have the Queen of Pentacles. Followed by 3 of Wands. And the final one for you is going to be the High Priestess. It's a pretty simple message for Taurus. No matter where the wind is blowing from and how strong that wind is, right? Nothing in your life is gonna go out of the ordinary. It's basically written here in the energies, which are to support you guys, that no matter what, for example, well, almost no matter what, because at the end of the day, you do have your own freedom of choice. But should things go forward as they are set right now, you are not gonna lose your job, all right? You're not gonna lose your relationship. You're not gonna lose your friends. It's just everything is going to sustain next couple of weeks. So much so that you are gonna grow quite used to it, for a lack of a better word, because it will be like building up your fortress. It's going to be like creating your own bubble with your friends in it, all right, with your family in it, with your job in it, with your children in it, if you do have any. And the more this phase of the moon progresses within the next couple of weeks, the more you are going to deny anything new that is coming your way, even if that affects your hobbies, and in general, even if that affects under normal circumstances that you may find a interesting activities. In fact, you're going to be very, very busy developing your current enterprises, your current undertakings, so to speak, for you are to see that you are just about getting there, establishing a very well-designed patterns, for a lack of a better word, for a lack of better expression, that you are getting there, right? And that after that you can get even more from it and to it as well, and give more. So for you, this lunar cycle is going to be focused more on creating, not creating, I'm sorry, improving, rather than a creating, right? Instead of creating new things, kind of like, for example, new businesses, new job opportunities, right, or new enterprises, you are to focus on improving your current ones, because there is so much more potential in it that otherwise, for what those cards are showing, you are gonna miss it. Okay, so give all you got, guys, to your current job, current love interest, current relationship, current friendships, and so on and so forth. All right, so that was Taurus. Moving on, next we do have Gemini. Hello, Sean. Welcome to the stream. All right, first one for Gemini, Queen of Wands, followed by the Hangman. Moving on, next for you guys, that will be the Lovers. Afterwards, we do have the Eight of Cups. Final one is the Emperor. Liz, thank you for the 20 US dollars super chat. Thank you, Liz. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading for how this solar eclipse is going to affect you personally. Gemini, it's pretty clear message here, and the message itself is that, well, basically it is more like a smack on your bottom, right? Telling you what the hell are you waiting for, right? Because the more you wait for what those cards are showing, the worse things are going to start turning out. Okay, so you gotta take your pick. If you want to pick it, if you want to put it that way, you gotta pick your poison, right? Regarding, for example, jobs, regarding your love life as well, or in other words, you have to make your choice, because there ain't gonna be any more perfect circumstances for you to do so. Because right now, how the circumstances are set themselves up, it's that there is no right or wrong choice. It's a choice of or it's a matter of what you can live with. Okay, but either way, it's going to be a win. So you gotta make your decision. Where are you gonna go for, right? And what consequences you will have to suffer from either of your options available, because there are gonna be consequences, okay? And if you so want to call it the right choice, it is going to be the one that you are going to be more harmonious, right? With the consequences that you will have to bear, so to speak, after you do decide what you are going to do about one thing or another. Next couple of weeks, other than that, are going to be weeks that you are going to have that, can I put it into words, a sheer willful prevailing, and also a very astute sense of how things work, and what is the reason, for a lack of better expression here. So whenever, for example, a problem happens, you are going to be able to pinpoint why it's happening, where is its weakest point, how to overwhelm it, right? And basically the recipe how to solve your issues, or how to overcome challenges, or succeed in a tasks, for lack of a better word. But this is going to take a lot of discipline, and also a lot of a consistency. So it is going to be a busy couple of weeks, but once they're done, right, once they're done, you will have not a shred of a doubt that you did your best. And despite the results, because for some are going to be better than for others, right? Despite the results, you are going to have a clear view that the future holds a much better perspective. So imagine if you end up on a really, really good foot here, the future is going to hold even a better positions for you, even better results there. But what is going to be common for all of you is that your day-to-day routine, all right, or your environment is going to be designed so that any ups and downs you are to face, you're going to face with bear. And on top of that, you're going to have now a time to spend for yourself, to nurture and as well, you know, satisfy your own personal needs. All right, that was Gemini. Now moving next, we do have Cancer. Oh, there it is. All right, first one for you, Cancer, Six of Wands, followed by the Ace of Swords. Moving next, we do have Judgment. Afterwards, that will be the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, I'm sorry. And the final one, it is the Three of Pentacles. Hold on a second, I got distracted, guys. Sean, thank you for the 10 US dollars. Thank you, Sean. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading, okay, for the new moon in Aries. Well, for you, Cancer, a lot of jealousy. A lot of jealousy is gonna be around you. Yasmin, thank you for the $20 US. Mwah. Thank you, Yasmin. At the end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading for the transit. All right, so a lot of jealousy you can exert, or rather not exert. It's kind of like accumulate around yourself. That is because next couple of weeks are gonna be fun, freaking tastic for you. That is, there are gonna be a lot of basically success that you will experience, a lot of rewards, a lot of recognition. Okay, you're going to be given as an example, this is how you got to do the job, and they point you, and that will create jealousy and animosity even from, for example, your colleagues, for example, your friends, so on and so forth. So what is important here, it is that you shouldn't brag about your personal achievements and accomplishments, because they are going to be very, very good. In fact, very significant milestones is what you are to accomplish in the next couple of weeks. You may have a, for example, a sex with the person you have a crush on, all right? Or you may get a spot in the project everybody wants to be a part of, right? Or you may win some kind of a travel or some kind of a reward that everybody is trying to do so. And that will create the jealousy and the animosity. So the less you brag about your personal accomplishments, the better, the less is going to be the jealousy and the animosity. But alongside, you know, accumulating this unpleasant experience from everyone around, there is also going to be those which are going to cheer for you, but they are going to cheer for you regardless. Okay, your personal accomplishments and your personal achievements, and it's going to be pretty easy for you to recognize who is who. Okay, and it's quite advisable to try to create some fruitful cooperations with these people, which are to cheer you up and support you into your pleasant experience that you're going to have within the next couple of weeks. For that is the transit where you are going to see who your true friends truly are. I don't know how to put it there. And if you are single, one of those friendships could be actually the accomplishment in the achievement, where that friendship is to become more than a friendship, right? But one of these milestones you are to accomplish, it's your trampoline, right? It is your green light. It is the light at the end of the tunnel for you, and it will be pretty obvious, so you can't miss it. Literally, you can't miss it. The only thing you can miss, or you can screw up, is choosing not to initiate in it. Okay, choosing to be idle toward it, which is going to be one of your biggest mistakes in your life. Chandra, thank you for the $20 US. Thank you, Chandra. The end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading for the new moon in Aries, the lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse, I'm sorry, and the new moon. Couple of minutes, guys, and I'm gonna go for the rest of the star signs, and after that the super chat. So anyone who decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat or PayPal, the link for the PayPal you're gonna find in the description down below. You're gonna have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And should your super chat be $20 US or above, or a PayPal, the reading is going to be that very same format I just did for the star signs, which is a 5-card spread. And if you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which also link you're gonna find in the description down below. All right, Leo. First one for you guys, that will be the Hangman, followed by the Strength, moving next, that will be the Six of Pentacles. Afterwards, we do have the Knight of Cups. And the final one for you is going to be the Judgment. So that will be a bit tough for you, Leo, for the next couple of weeks. For these are gonna be a weeks where you just have to kind of like hold your bearings and just let things happen, okay? Rather than controlling things around, rather than trying to not infiltrate but alter, for a lack of better expression here, alter one situation or another. According to these cards, there is a course which the aspects, the events, the enterprises are taking, and you did your part so far, and now you just have to wait your actions, your previous actions, decisions to take results, or kind of like to produce the results required. And that is literally what revolves around what revolves around your lunar phases here, your lunar transit for the next couple of weeks. So it is just a transit where you have to lay back and enjoy the show. It's just as simple as that. Okay. One advice from the cards, it is know your place. Okay, don't go behind the backs, for example, of your boss, of I don't know, your spouse, your family as well, your friends. Just know your place. There is a very strict dynamic within the hierarchy that is going to take place within the next couple of weeks, and you must take your place within that hierarchy. Doesn't matter how high or how low you are into its ladder. Other than that, it seems that you have taken the right steps toward what's going to make you happy, and now you just have to have faith in faith that you know, your actions are like a snowball, and you just have to wait it to grow enough in order to become the compelling force you need to accomplish your desires, your dreams, right? And in generally, what's gonna make you happy. It's very simple. Just enjoy the show. Okay, that is literally what those cards are showing. Because one last thing here for you. If you don't like how things are turning out, I'm sorry to break it to you, but according to the cards, again, you're not seeing it from the right perspective. So you gotta change your perspective of how you see things and how you address things around. All right, next we do have Virgo. Knight of Swords for Virgo is the first card, followed by the Six of Pentacles. Moving next, that will be the Wheel of Fortune. Afterwards, it is the Moon. And the final one, that will be the King of Wands. So completely opposite to Leo here within the next couple of weeks, guys. If you are told that you can't do it, you should try it out. Simple as that. Now, it's very strongly suggested from these 5 tarot cards that if you see the option available in front of you reasonable and you like it, then that's the option available. You should take, despite if someone tells you that that's not for you or you shouldn't do it. Okay, because next couple of weeks are the weeks that you are to take the reins of your steed and navigate yourself towards your future. What I'm trying to say here is that you are in control of how your future is going to be manifested or set up, not set up, manifested. Yeah, manifested. From there on moving forward, and it's highly advisable for what those cards are showing that you direct it toward, or rather like use your ambition as a pointer where to direct your efforts and where to direct that future. Now, once it is directed, it's highly likely that you may feel a bit emotionally unstable because you ain't going to be sure, are you going to be able to manage it, you know, how things are going to turn out, and generally, you know, what's going to come out of it. But these worries and concerns that you may have are kind of like unsubstantiated, meaning that they have no merit, at least thus far. So you got to take it easy. And despite of how much doubt you may have, you shouldn't abandon the path that you are to choose to take next couple of weeks. Because for you, Virgo, this is what boils down to next couple of weeks. You are to choose a path, right, for yourself. A path that once chosen is going to lead you to a place you belong toward, is going to lead you to a job you belong into, it's going to lead you to a business you belong into, social circle that you belong into, or a person that you belong with, right? Either way, you have to identify that choice, as I said, right, or as those cards showed. If it makes sense and it is something you like, that's your that's your tunnel, that's your cue, that's your green light, you name it. Okay, that's your cue. And kind of like you shouldn't hesitate. All right, that was Virgo. Now moving next, we do have Libra. The Sun for Libra. Moving next is the Five of Cups. Hey, Anna. Welcome to the stream. Eight of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. The Fool. Now, before I see the Fool, and even after I see the Fool, I was about to say it's going to be a difficult couple of weeks. Not exactly difficult. It's more like complicated. Okay, it's going to be a complicated couple of weeks. Because, long story short, you will have generally a good development. For example, generally you are going to have a good options available. Generally you're going to have a good proposals for job, you know, or for one thing or another, good options available in generally. Now, that said, those options available are not going to be under ideal circumstances. Okay, so that you may have some kind of a or you are going to have, not may, but you are going to have some kind of a sense of disappointment, right? In certain cases, you may even have a sense of loss, especially if the opportunity or the option available does not contain within itself the results that you think it should, right? And that is going to be a sense of loss. Say that you are applying for a mortgage and from several banks give you an offer, but none of these offers is as high as you hope that is going to be. So you do have your options available, but they're disappointing, right? Either way, these disappointments are going to be something temporary, okay, that you are going to experience. Long story short, those options available that you are going to have in front of you next couple of weeks, guys, they're going to be quite substantial for what those cards are showing, and they will present you with the growth you need and also the happiness that you do require from them, whatever those options available are all about. And you're going to work with them for a very, very, very long time. In fact, it's advisable next couple of weeks to be the weeks that you are to initiate something you planned for a long time or you have prepared for quite a while now, and it is time for you just to kind of like manifest it and make it tangible within the waking world. Now, why is going to be complicated? Well, because you may overkill it. Right, you may overkill everything. You may overkill your options available or your initiation, or you may underperform into it. So this is where the complicated aspect lies, to be able to identify how much to invest, right? To be in tune, so to speak, with the game of giving and taking. And therefore, if there is an aspect that you think that you are taking way less than you are giving, well, probably it's time for you to stop giving or start giving just as much as you are taking. And also, it's important to do vice versa. If you think that you're taking way more than you're giving, then it's time to start giving a little bit more into it. Long story short here, that is how your next couple of weeks are going to be for you. All right. And don't be biased about your options available, because they may turn into everything. All right, so initially they may look disappointing, but in a couple of weeks from now you may actually take your opinion back, because they will look very, very promising. Anna, thank you for the $20. Thank you, Anna. At the end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading for the new moon in Aries. All right, next we do have Scorpio. Prince of Wands, the Knight of Wands for Scorpio, followed by the Eight of Cups. Moving next, we do have the Four of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Three of Pentacles. I'm not gonna waste my time with the Scorpio rambling about. It's pretty clear message here, and the message is as it was with the collective, just different cards. What those cards are showing here is that what we should focus on as a Scorpio is making so, right? Making so to ensure the security of thy future, in a sense of to ensure the security of our business future, say, or our law future. Or long story short, we already took a thing. We already signed a contract, all right? We already decided in favor of one thing or another, and we just gotta carry on with it. Next couple of weeks are gonna be the weeks where this is gonna be challenging thing, right? If you wanna call it that, our faith is to be tested. So if you, for example, chose one person over another and now you are having a second guess, well, guess again, because you already made your pick. And getting kind of like not double dipping on your choice is gonna only make things worse. So that is the long story short here for us Scorpio, right? But going forward with our decisions is gonna make the things that we decide in favor of one person or another, one job or another, one decision or another, more enterprising than they look right now. Okay, so if you aren't happy, for example, with the job you took or with the person you start dating, right, things are going to start becoming more and more interesting, more and more enterprising, more and more thriving, for a lack of a better word. It may take time, but they will. And on top of that, okay, more and more support is to rally under our banners as well. So that is Scorpio reading. It's very simple, and it's kind of uplifting, knowing that, you know, yeah, right now situation may look underwhelming, okay, but things are gonna get better. So couple of minutes, not couple of weeks, but couple of minutes, guys, and after that I'm gonna go for the last 4 star signs. And after that, the super chat readings. Anyone who decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you're gonna have your reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed. And should your super chat be $20 or above, the reading is going to be that very same format I am doing for the star signs. And if you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which link you're gonna find in the description down below. What I do has nothing to do with intuition, Athena. Just literally nothing to do with an intuition. Hello, Sherry. Welcome to the stream. Ah, okay. Thank you, Sherry, for the $20. Thank you. The end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading. Thank you, Athena. Right, next, Sagittarius. Seven of Swords for Sagittarius, followed by the Hermit. Afterwards, Two of Cups. Then it is the Knight of Pentacles. And the final one, it's the Chariot. You gotta take what you can get, guys. You gotta take what you can get. That's what those cards are saying. In the next couple of weeks, the circumstances. Oh, I'm sorry. 4 a.m. here. The circumstances will allow us. I'm saying us because I do have stellium there, so it's going to affect me one way or another, and my moon is there as well. But it's going to affect us in such a way that we get to do as we please, for a lack of a better word. All right, we can have the circumstances just so right to stand our ground, to show a strong backbone, to demand what we think we are owed. I'm sorry. To exert our own righteousness, which is going to be, by the way, pretty in tune with the universal righteousness as well. Okay, and the consequences that this could kind of like present in any way, they are going to be not so severe to alter the future that we do have. So nothing out of it, even if kind of like it has a negative impact, because taking what you can get is going to produce some negative impacts here and there, right? But they are not going to be so severe to mess up with our plans that we do have, so to speak. In fact, some of that approach is going to be very necessary in order to accomplish certain steps of the plans we do have for a one thing or another. Now we do have Two of Cups. People get wet when they see the Two of Cups, all right? And yeah, I mean, here the Two of Cups, it could represent love, right? But more so, it kind of represents the inactive environment. What I mean is that people just will see either no reason or are gonna be intimidated to challenge our actions and as well our decisions. That's why the circumstances are going to be so great for us to just, do as we please, do as we think is going to help us, is going to serve us right, so to speak. Taco, thank you for the 22 US dollars. But Tarot doesn't read for health, Taco. So I don't know if I will be able to answer that in a satisfying fashion, but I'm gonna try my best. Thank you. Wow, I'm glad that you feel great, mate. Your ordeal was how long now? 1 year? Capricorn next. Eight of Wands, first one, followed by the Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Two of Wands, Three of Wands. Well, for you, Capricorn, pretty simple. You're gonna have a many opportunities next couple of weeks to make your life better. What I mean is to indulge yourself, right? You're gonna have many opportunities to spend time with people you love, many opportunities to just, you know, enjoy yourself in any way that you find pleasing, many opportunities to just, you know, I don't know how to put it into words. Well, what those cards are speaking is about those small things that one person does for themselves that on their own accord they don't matter that much, but when they pile up they actually make the experience exhilarating, glean, ecstatic. So you're gonna have those many opportunities. You should take them, right? You should take every single one of them. So what your expectation can be for the next couple of weeks is to attend work in a way that is going to enjoy you. I mean, the people that you're going to work with are going to be awesome. The projects that you're going to be working on are going to be very interesting, right? And in generally, almost everything you do, even the chores, for a lack of a better word, are going to be pleasant. The very least, a pleasant. And by the end of these couple of weeks for you, Capricorn, you will kind of like come up to the conclusion that it's time for you to set the target a little bit higher. All right, it's time for you to kind of like lift your bar and just go for more, but not like more for a something new, but instead to grow into what you are already developing, to go for more in terms of your current relationship, to go for more in terms of your current job or current business, like for example initiating new service, or for example taking on a more opportunity, more responsibilities, so you can get paid more, and so on and so forth. Long story short is that next couple of weeks are the weeks where you can actually cut some corners without you even knowing it, or skip stages in order for you to find yourself further ahead, or further ahead than you are supposed to be. Okay. So what, a tornado ruined your house? Is that what you're saying, Taco? Aquarius next. Oh, hurricane. Not tornado, but a hurricane. Knight of Swords, followed by Four of Pentacles. Afterwards, it is the King of Cups. Then it is the Ace of Swords. Five of Wands. Pretty specific for Aquarius. You are to be proposed. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I mean, yeah. I mean, it freaks me out if I think of kind of like losing my home on a thing like this. Okay, because it's silly. Because it's out of your control. What can you do? I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Well, maybe it was a mistake. But if you are to live in the tornado valley, maybe, I don't know, your house or thy house should be made of solid, I don't know how to put it into words, but a solid walls, like bricks and concrete, rather than woods and rather than wood and whatever, you know, those houses are made. Because I do like watching tornadoes in YouTube, because that is something I really want to see in Rio. And the debris are just, you know, planks flying everywhere, and if the houses are built from planks, of course they are going to fall apart. But you know, if they are solid brick, like for example in England, everywhere you go in England you do see those stone solid bricks being built. There is no way that the winds are gonna lift that. Yeah, it could break your windows and all that, but it's never gonna trash your house. It's just, it's not possible. Anyway, back to, and I know it's expensive, all right, it's expensive building, but if you live in Tornado Valley or Valley, I think it's worth it. Yeah, just planks flying everywhere. I mean, how can you live in that? If there are burglars, they don't even need to go through the front door. They can just, cut off a wall. So they just need a woodcutter and they can just break into your house without even breaking a sweat. Anyway, so back to Aquarius. Yeah, you are to be proposed. That may be a job offer, right? Or maybe an offer to get into a relationship, whatever the case here. And it will be very surprising and is going to ruin your day. What I mean is that it's going to completely throw your plan. If you are to take that offer, that is, it's going to completely throw your plans out of the windows, all right? Let me give you an example of it. Let's say that you recently lost your job and you decided that you are gonna take a break for a while, for a couple of months, and you scheduled that traveling you always wanted to take. But alas, kind of like few days before the travel takes place, you get a job offer that is something you don't want to miss, right? It's something that you just kind of like almost can't deny because it's a really good job. I mean, it makes sense. It's something you would love to do. The payment is awesome. So how can you turn it down for traveling, right? And it throws your plan out of the window, but in the same time, it's an offer that there is no reason nor a need for you to pretty much deny it. And that is going to be the pinnacle of the next couple of weeks for you, Aquarius, right? So there isn't much more to say than this, and the offer may looks way too good to be true, but it is good and it is true, right? So I don't know how you handle that, guys, but next couple of weeks are the weeks where you will learn how to trust, or rather, like, it's are going to be the weeks where you will learn how to make a leap of faith, for a lack of better expression. Yeah, I think that it's because the castles are made from a stone and concrete. Well, not concrete, but something similar, right? To hold the stone. And by the way, the buildings here in Europe, they're all from bricks, right, and concrete. We don't use wood for houses. Even the houses are from bricks and concrete. And we don't have hurricanes. We don't have tornadoes and all that. I don't know why people were building it from planks, and after that they're charging for those houses like they're built from bricks, right, and stone. It's kind of like ridiculous, but why now for a real estate? Nothing. If one day I end up living in the United States, definitely is going to be a flat, right? Because flats, I am certain they're built from a something more solid than just a wooden planks. Pisces. Well, I don't know about the tree saving, Athena, but it's very efficient, right? It's very efficient because you can build that wooden house in a matter of, I don't know, weeks, okay? while the concrete one, it takes you a bit more than that. It will take you months building it. Well, let's say not months, but well, yeah, months, at least couple of months building it. All right. And the wooden one, it's way less expensive for the one who builds it, but they can sell it to you like a house. It's a house, right? He's selling a house. Doesn't matter what it's built from. It's selling you a house. Much cheaper to produce, much faster to produce, and much more fragile. Not to mention that the wood, it rots, while the concrete doesn't. And the bricks, they don't. Yeah, they decay, but it takes hundreds upon hundreds of years that to happen. Pisces, King of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Knight of Wands, and the final one is the Eight of Swords. Give me a second. Now for you, Pisces, I don't know what's gonna happen. I really wished that I could know exactly, you know, what's gonna be the event. Because whatever event that is, you will feel the incentive to match it. Okay, to match it. For example, someone makes you a favor, and you will kind of like have the incentive to match that favor. Or someone tells you something, and same thing, you will have the incentive, or rather like you will feel the incentive to match it, and so on and so forth. And you shouldn't, because what those cards are showing here is that everyone brings their own thing to the table, right? You can't match them, they cannot match you either, and that will be the state everywhere for you. So what is going to come out of it from all that is that you are going to find your unique place, okay, in your love life, in your business, right, in your career as well. And based on that, there are going to be unique niches, for a lack of better expression here, if you want to call it a better way, a unique opportunities that is going to be very niche for you, that only you can take part of into them. Only you can actually handle those opportunities, those narratives, those directives, so to speak, which are going to prove themselves to be very, very interesting for you, and also quite profitable. And that's going to be the direction that you are going to truly start growing. Okay, so a lot depends on what that event pretty much is going to be, which is going to push you into finding your own unique contribution and your own unique place into the world, where you are going to truly feel in harmony with your surrounding, that finally kind of like you have found yourself, right? And you have found your environment. One thing it's advisable next couple of weeks, don't express your feelings everywhere you go, right? It's important that you do share your feelings only with people that those feelings are meant for. The rest you keep for yourself, because otherwise it's very likely that they are to be exploited, and thus your foundations or the ground that you're stepping on shaken. All right, that was for Pisces, and now the super chat is gonna take place. A minute or two first to catch my breath, and then Jasmine. You're welcome, Athena. All right, Jasmine, those are your cards. So what they speak, Jasmine, it is that for a important endeavor that you are going through right now, okay, which endeavor it's kind of stopped, it's halted for a one or another reason, or is a so slowly dragging forward that it feels like pretty much a slog. All right, you are to re-examine the way you are addressing the thing, right? You are going to examine the style you are addressing the thing. For example, if your love life is under a slog and it's pretty much almost DOA, you are to examine, how you are addressing it. What is your lifestyle in regards to your love life? Say the same thing in terms of business or, your life in general. And that is gonna make it stirred, because what's gonna happen, Jasmine, is that you are going to identify what is the reason for it. What of your lifestyle, what of your current lifestyle doesn't allow this endeavor or those endeavors to move forward. And Once you do identify it, of course, you get to decide, do you want to change it or not? And that will feel a bit awkward, because the way that you must change it, the way you are going to have to change it, will be not inconvenient, uncomfortable. Okay, so it's going to be convenient, but it will be a bit uncomfortable at the start, for the reason being is that you haven't done those steps before. You haven't done that approach before. But once you try it out, you will immediately see that it fits very well, all right? That you are natural in it, for a lack of a better word. And through those approaches, in fact, you may also discover some talents you always had, but you never exploited in any way. Now, long story short, Jasmine, once you do identify the reason of your problems, your pebbles that are turning over the carriage that you are riding right now, right? Once you do identify them and you do resolve them, for what those cards are showing here, I mean, you are gonna end up being very happy, being very dedicated to that endeavor, because the endeavor is going to stride, right, instead of slogging itself forward, right? So a huge breakthrough, for a lack of better words, for you, Jasmine. What's the other way, or rather, like, can I put it into words? Another way how you can identify it is that endeavor, that's the lack of its progress. It kind of makes you feel uncertain for your future, and in generally, you know, uncertain how you stand in it overall. All right, that was for you, Jasmine. Next, we do have Liz. Those are your cards, Liz. It's a brand new perspective for you. It's a brand new beginning, if you want to call it that way. I don't know what exactly signifies. Hold on a second. I'm not going to show you those cards, though. I'm just curious what it signifies. Partnership, right? It's a partnership. It's a brand new partnership, which mutual problem is gonna bond you together. And when I say bond, I mean really, really bond. Quite surprising, right? And that partnership will carry on no resemblance to anything that you have experienced thus far. Now, I don't know what that partnership is going to be all about. It could be a romantic partnership, it could be business partnership, or just partnership in crime, so to quote unquote, all right? Just having the same thing that you are going through and that unites you. But it's going to serve you well, right? It's going to contribute, and not just only contribute, but it's going to make your agenda possible, right? So, for example, if you do have agenda to push some kind of a message into the world, well, you are gonna have a partner in crime for it, and together you will be able to push it. So I don't know what those cards are referring, Liz, to, but it is a what kind of a partnership it is, but I know it is a partnership, right? And through that partnership, like I said, things are going to be different in a sense of efficiency, and not just only efficiency, but also a way forward. That is how this solar eclipse is going to affect you. All right, Yasmin, you are next. Oh my God. All right, a phone call, Yasmin, through a phone call or some kind of a chat, something like that. All right. Um, Whatever you're gonna talk about with that person is gonna make you very happy, right? Very, very happy. Those are the cards you do have. The phone call or the chat I determined through another system, which I'm not going to show you now because that's about tarot, but I just had to be a bit more specific. So it's gonna make you very happy. I mean, nothing is gonna matter anymore. I mean, whatever concerns you do have this far, all right, whatever doubts you may had, gone. They will be no longer relevant. Now the process itself of your happiness is going to interfere with the happiness of others, and the advice of the cards is not to care, because at the end of the day, if you don't take care for your own happiness, no one else will. And if you think that people are going to sacrifice their own happiness for you, uh, you are very wrong into it. So you shouldn't sacrifice your happiness for theirs as well, right? But yeah, pay attention for that phone call or a chat that you're gonna have, because this is gonna be the source of your happiness. Okay, the very least from it, it's at the very least from it, you will realize that you're not alone in this world, and is gonna be the one, is gonna be the thing that is gonna make a huge difference for you, in a sense that it will allow you now to look in your life or at your life in a very, very different way, that it is a better way. All right, next, Anna. You're welcome, Yasmin. Oh no, next it's Chandra. Sorry. After that is Anna. All right, Chandra. Those are your cards. It's an offer that is gonna throw you in panic, right? It's gonna make you panic at the start, at the very least. The offer itself involves simultaneously love and money. So the only thing that I can think of, it's someone that you are working with, working for, or working by, is gonna try to make a romantic advances, and it's your choice. Do you wanna allow it to happen or not? But you are going to be, because of that Nine of Swords being here, all right, you are going to be very concerned about what consequences that thing may bring, right? And there are going to be consequences. They don't have to be negative though, right? Because the Three of Wands being at the prime of it, at the very start, not the ordeal, the process, yes, it will be challenging to maintain it, to control it, but it's kind of inevitable, right? In a sense of that kind of experience is something that one way or another you are gonna go through, even if you do deny it, right? Even if you do deny it, you still that relationship no longer gonna be the same, right? And you still have to manage it in a kind of different way. Will you accept it or not? That depends on your current situation. I will tell you what the cards are advising. If you are now currently in a relationship, all right, you should not accept it if you are currently in a relationship. But if you aren't, nothing is stopping you except ethics, right? Except your ethic, nothing else, nothing tangible is stopping you, right? So that is what we have for you, Chandra. All right, Anna. Very indicative for you, Anna. There is no need to draw for you, Lenormand, even. Those are the cards. You see those, not those two that we do have here, those two, right? The Chariot, Three of Pentacles. They kind of show that you are not alone in it, or alone in this, and your support is gonna rally behind you in the next couple of weeks. under that new moon in Aries, and through that support, you don't really need it, but it's just is going to make things far easier for you. Through that support, you are going to grow the confidence required, and not just only the confidence, but also the determination required in order to do what it takes, and you will succeed in it. And once you do it, all right, once you do that action required, all right, you will have your thing manifested. So I don't know what you are struggling against, because the Chariot pretty much shows that you are struggling against something, all right? You are fighting an overwhelming odds. That's what the card is pointing here. But you will prevail at the end for what those cards are showing, and you're gonna not just only prevailing but also closing the matter, right? Because one thing is to prevail and kind of like leave the thing undecided, for lack of a better word, you know, unfinished for the most part. Another thing is to kind of like wrap it up completely, and that's what you are gonna do. And doesn't matter the result at the end, you are gonna kind of like make a huge sigh, considering it as a wish fulfillment. So it's going to be a huge triumph that this new moon in Aries is going to be for you. Huge triumph, and overwhelming the overwhelming odds. All right, next, Sherry. Four of Wands, Sherry. Those are your cards. Within the next couple of weeks, Sherry, you are to make an exceptional management and capitalize on expanding energies of growth. I don't know what that management is all about. The cards, usually those cards refer to a management that it took quite a long time. I mean, it was not a struggle, but it is a performance, for a lack of better word, right? It is something you really worked for. And finally, you are to end a certain stage. You are to end a certain cycle with it and then jump into the next cycle. You can even count it as a going into the next level, going into the next level of your work, into the next level of your relationship, whatever you are toiling. I mean, really, really toiling about here. And after, you know, those important matters are resolved, because that's what's going to boil down to, very important matters being resolved, being given an answer to. Once that's done, you don't have to kind of like put so much attention to it, and you can redirect it into a new, let's say, not exactly new, but let's say set aside things that now you're going to have the time, you're going to have the means, you're going to have the resources, so to speak, to attend to, which they are going to be a very pleasant for you. So this thing for you, or this transit for you, Sherry, is a transit of completion, right? Because you are going to complete the ordeal. And also it's a transit of a natural progression, that is completing the ordeal, which leads to a further development into a one or another thing, that it is simply something that you naturally are going to grow into. So if you are kind of like questioning yourself, are you on the right path? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, next we do have Taco, which has a specific inquiry here. What is the current most important message for me healing-wise? Let's see it. Again, I am saying that under the condition that tarot is not designed to read for health. All right, those are the three cards as a message, right? Elemental dignity reading. Taco, according to these cards, you are not quite there yet. What I mean is that you do still have a process of recovery to complete. But also what they are saying it is that the doctors that you are going to, they do have the answer, they do have the solution, they do have the treatment, right? So have patience, for a lack of a better word, right? You are making progress. But like I said, you aren't quite there yet. Translated into a different topic rather than health, right? These cards are speaking that whatever endeavor you are going through, right? Whatever accomplishment you are trying to establish or to complete, you do need a professional help, right? Someone that really knows what it's going through. For example, if you are having troubles with, say, someone stole something from you, well, maybe it's time for you to bring the law enforcement into the matter. Or you do have a dispute, then a lawyer is going to resolve the issue, or a solicitor, or whatever you call it, right? Or in your case, you do have a medical issue, then the doctors are going to resolve it, and so on and so forth. But in terms of health, I don't know. I mean, those cards are showing that you ain't quite there yet. Hello, Rocky. Um, yeah, we are almost finishing, but no one blames you, Rocky. I mean, you are now employed, which is a really, really good thing. All right, last but not least, we do have Sean. Okay, thank you for the 27.99 Canadian. Mwah. Thank you. You're gonna have your reading in a sec. I do, yeah. I do not forget about my patrons, right? The only thing I cannot remember, names and numbers, right? I am terrible remembering names and also numbers, like dates, values, and so on. But I remember the price today. You know, I was walking into the shop and because I was getting groceries to make an ice cream, and I saw a stack of grape. You know, when you peel off a stack of grape, like a branch of grape, that it is how much? About the 200 grams, which is a pound, not a half of a pound, right? In the imperial system, a half of a pound for 35 Bulgarian leva, which is about, I don't know, $20. I mean, oh my god, are you freaking insane? I mean, I know it's kind of like out of season, but come on, man. Anything that might apply to surgery, you're going through surgery? Yeah, it could apply to surgery. But I would prefer not to interpret it that way, mate. Those are the cards, right? And again, I'm gonna say that, but I am making the disclaimer: tarot is not designed to read for health, right? According to these cards, you could have a better surgeon. That doesn't mean that the current one they ain't gonna do the job, right? It's just they're saying that there is gonna be a better one. Maybe under a better surgeon, you may have a faster recovery, right? Maybe under a better surgeon, you may have a more, how do you call it, a preserving procedure. I don't know, right? I'm not a surgical expert, but hey, I mean, in this world, you can always have a better one, right? I mean, it's the gamer's rule that no matter how good you are, there is always someone better. In the grand scheme of things, Sean, by the way, that surgeon, your treating doctor, is gonna piss you the crap off, because that's also a version here, right? Just is gonna scrape down your nerves, right? With how unaffected they are, you know, how little they care, but they are gonna be professional, right? That's for certain. They will treat you professionally. That is without a doubt. Here that we do have. In the grand scheme of things, this transit, you are going to be pissed off by many people, and you are going to find yourself saying things that under normal circumstances you wouldn't, and also doing things that under normal circumstances you wouldn't. Right? And at the end of the day, you may be disappointed of yourself. I don't want to say that you're going to hate yourself, but you are going to be disappointed of yourself. And I'm going to tell you what you should be more careful about here, Sean. Just give me a moment. Okay. Yeah, it is your health. I mean, according to these cards, your health matters the most. Just give me a second. just please take it seriously, right? I mean, really, really seriously. Your health, and do whatever you can to improve it. All right, Rocky, you're next. Oh my God. I mean, you never concern yourself with love. I guess. Are you swimming in a sea of flesh? It is only, I mean, you do have your job and you're still concerning about it. Well, you're making it easier for me, okay? Because according to these cards here, you will expand and grow in your current job, all right? In fact, let me give you a time frame here. At the mid of summer, you may be whether promoted or kind of like changed, swapped in a different department, or just giving a raise, all right? But a change into the circumstances, which is going to be based on your current accomplishments and your current achievements, which are going to be better and better, bigger and bigger. So according to these cards, there isn't anything that you should be afraid of, unless you do not become cocky, right? And you do not, and you start cutting corners, like doing your work sloppy, right? So you gotta be methodical, consistent, taking it one thing at the time, very important, and as well be grounded. Very, very important to do so. Other than that, it seems that you are going to thrive where you are. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. At least one of us is swimming in a sea of flesh here, Rocky, and we're gonna see each other next time. Until then, bye.